Hello guys, welcome back to 3D printing with us. I am Trevin Force from Enchanted Forces, and this is Craig.
Hello.
Okay, so today we will be continuing our episode by showing you Thingiverse, and the first thing I'm going to search up here on Thingiverse to show you guys around is dog tag. At the start of this, I showed you guys like dog tags that we were going to make dog tags, and I showed you guys printed dog tags. So here are just some examples of dog tags on Thingiverse. Thingiverse is a good place to get like a lot of images or models, I would say, from or 3D printable models. So here you can see that we have a lot of 3D printable models for dog tags. Like we have some that say name, all that good stuff on it. And then there's an articulating chihuahua, but that has nothing to do with it.
I do like the shape of these dog biscuits, although ours is a little bit more simple. The dog biscuits are pretty cool.
Yeah, and if you want to see more results, you can just hit the next arrow, stuff like that. So we're gonna just click on this one. Dog tag 1 sounds pretty simple enough. Yeah, so it looks pretty simple. You can hang it on your dog. Well, I wouldn't say really hang it. You can attach it to your dog. It's shaped like a bone, and your 3D text, which is modifiable, yes, through Tinkercad, which we'll show you later, so stay tuned. This is how to download our file, so you just click the little download button. It downloads to the top of your computer, which is nice. Comments if you want to see, like, if the model's good, if the model's bad, if you need glue for the model, stuff like that. And then there's uploads, remakes, stuff like that. So, yeah.
Uploads and remakes. So somebody has made this and printed it, and often they'll show their experiment or prototype, and you can tell if, hey, this thing prints well, or maybe it doesn't print well.
Yeah, really, really useful. So another one is Things, which is practically taking like every single 3D printed hub that owns like 3D printed models, and it changes it together, because as I've figured out, the search engine on Thingiverse is actually really bad, because you search up something, and I don't know how they do the search engine, but it's pretty bad. So Things has a much better search engine, and it searches through more than just Thingiverse. It also searches like Prusa Printables, Bamboo Labs, all that stuff. So if you want like more results, like here we got 6.1 thousand results for dog tag. Here we're just going to narrow it down, because we don't want like some sort of, I don't know, knockoff print. But yeah, so here you have like practically every single thing you would want. Here you have like the type. So we use STL, we use OBG, we use 3DM, and we use some other stuff, but those are the main ones, because you don't really want like some other random stuff that your printer probably won't take, or you'll have to take the extra time to use a convertible, which would be bad. Then you can also change it to watertight or consistent if you want to. And there are paid models, but free ones I always go with, because, you know, what they say, the freer the better. No, I think that's...
We keep it simple. The most simple file to download would be an STL file. And the other files, 3MF, you might use if you had multicolor. But if you want to keep your filters simple, filter on STL, and that model will typically yield a pretty good result in your 3D print.
The also only problem with Things is that since the search engine is good, it will bring up more than just dog tag. It will also bring up like articulating dogs or anything with tag in it. So yeah, but here we found a nice little dog tag. We have all the dimensions down there, which you can change through Tinkercad, which we will show you later, so remember to stay tuned. And there is that nice convenient download button, which will download to your top of your screen. Okay, so let's get into Tinkercad so I can show you how to import a what's it called? A dog tag, how to import one, and how to create your own.
So Tinkercad is a CAD program, computer-aided design. So we'll be able to take this STL model that already exists and make some edits to it inside this computer-aided design tool called Tinkercad.
Yeah, so it's like if you ever see on those things that say like your text here and you don't know how to change it, you will probably import it through Tinkercad or Blender or something else. Blender is like a CAD system. Well, it is a CAD system.
That's right.
But it's more complicated. So for beginners, we're just going to show you how to use it on Tinkercad.
Tinkercad is great. It is very powerful and it's very simple. It's a web-based interface, and you should be able to do 75% of what you want to do from a basic standpoint before you have to move into a very complicated like Blender CAD system.
Yeah, so that's our dog tag, and we don't want that one for this video. Today we're going to be making our own dog tag, which we showed you in the last video, 3D print it yourself part 1. So if you want to see the final design, go check that out after this video.
And what we're doing here is taking very basic shapes. Although we liked the biscuit that you saw there, we're going to take basic shapes here, being circles and whatnot, to create our very simplistic dog tag. And then you'll be able to take it the next step into something a little bit more complicated from a shape perspective.
And something else you probably saw me pull in, it kind of looked like a ruler. It's at the top under, it's the second one, the one in the middle under export. I pulled in a ruler. They're really useful. As you can tell, we have extra dimensions there, which really help because you need to see. So I'm just going to be using the measurements from my last dog tag that we created to create this new dog tag, which I am showing you step by step how to create. Right now I'm creating the little keyhole. You would put your keychain on it, so then you could attach it to your dog's harness.
Yeah, more specifically a jump ring. So the jump ring is what we would use from it's a metal jump ring that you'll connect to this eyelet that Trevin is dropping down onto the dog tag itself. So the jump ring goes to the eyelet, and then the jump ring also goes to the collar itself.
Yeah, so yeah, that's why it's kind of small. And the reason we're messing with all these settings is because if you keep them too low, it won't look right, and you won't be able to attach your jump ring to your dog harness correctly. Maybe it won't print correctly. All the stuff that could go wrong that can be an easily mistake for beginners, but easily fixable.
More specifically, the sides that you see on there, we want those to be maximum, because that will prevent us from seeing little square edges on the eyelet. It'll look much more round and smooth.
Yeah, so here we're just going to change our measurements to 32.75. If it looks a little bit scrunched on the first measurement, don't worry. It will square out or circle out, I guess.
It'll become more symmetrical when you put 32.75 on both the dimensions.
Yeah. And you want it to be not too thick, because if it's too high up, then your dog will be wearing a brick.
High heel shoes.
Yeah, he'll be wearing a high heel shoe for his collar, which won't look too good, and your dog won't look as snazzy as you think it would. But
we have determined what we feel is the right thickness of this, because when it's printed, it really looks like thickness, although it's height to us because it prints from the bottom up. It's the thickness of the dog tag.
Yeah, and talking about stuff, we, in our past shows, talked about what 3D printer we have. We have a i3 MK3S, which is a Prusa. And if you check our last video, we showed you that Prusa. We also have a Prusa i4 MK3. MK4, and we have a Prusa XL,
which is a multicolor printer.
Yeah. So those are all really good printers. If you want, Prusa I think is a really good brand of printer. For beginners, Bamboo is also a good printer, but for us, we like Prusa because it gives you more control, I could say, over the stuff that you can change, all the designs like that.
We're all about manufacturing quality, so we as much as we like to have a prototype, and that's a 1 or 2 number, single prints or just a few prints, but we like to print in mass quantities, and Prusa has one of the best interfaces for manufacturing controls.
Okay, so if you followed our measurements, you will probably have something that looks around like that. You of course don't have to use the name Bubba Gump, but we thought it would be funny, and we already had printed it, so we just used that, like, kind of like a tester. But yeah, so this little section I'm making, the little black part you see, isn't 100% necessary. I'm just creating it to make like a kind of two-tone dog tag, because you can't really change that through, you can't make it look different through Tinkercad, even though you are able to change it on your actual printer settings. Like if you have a Prusa, you can make a color change, which is probably what you saw on our other dog tag, which was the same dog tag. Actually, we're using the same model. But yeah, so as you can tell, those two fit together, my original and my now new one. And yeah, so we also now have to make our second name, which for some people, I mean, most dogs probably don't have two names. Like, you probably don't name your dog Bubba Gump. But for us, we're just changing it to that because, yeah. But for you, you might want to put your phone number, or you might want to put if lost, call. And if you can always, if you want to alter this, like, you don't have to follow our exact settings. If you figured something out, like, oh, I want the text smaller so I can fit my phone number, I can fit if lost, call whatever your name is, and want to have my dog name on there, or if you want to put like rabies vaccinated or something on that, then you could change that if you want. You could also make the actual like dog plate bigger, like the actual collar itself, and then that would allow you to fit more space and more text on it. But yeah, if you don't like this, then you could change the stuff. But for us, this works pretty good because we have a two named, or well, two names for our dog tag. But yeah.
So a little bit about the technology here. What we're doing is something that is referred to as photolithography-like technology. So the lower disc that you see, the black one, will have a bleed through. And by that I mean the upper disc, the yellow one, we are going to use that shadow-looking Bubba Gump, as you see highlighted right now, to create a negative space. That means that there will be no print material in that location. So what will happen is the effect will be that you'll see all the way through the yellow disc down to the black disc, and we'll get an effect of two colors with what's called bleed through. So you'll see the yellow on top bleeding through, and the text will look black when it's printed together.
Yeah, it's kind of like making an indent, you could say. Like you're making the letters inside of the actual dog tag. But if you go too far, this is a warning that I think we've all done before. If you go too far, you bleed through the whole dog actual tag, like the whole base of it. And that's not good, because then when you're printing it, it just has this giant hole in it and no one can tell what it says.
Right, so what it would look like if you went too far with, let's call it etching. We're etching this text into the top layer such that you can see into the bottom layer. But if you etch the text too deeply such that it goes through both layers, then it will be completely transparent all the way through, and you'll get clear text.
And it won't look good.
So
what you're going to see after this, right now I'm just aligning it, but we've already aligned it as much as we need to. So what you're going to see here is once we group it.
Oh, once,
you know, same thing. Like if you and Via, insider's joke.
From whence it comes.
Yeah, totally real word. So we're just attaching the top dog tag to that. So now you can see that. We're not going to attach the black plate for this one because I don't know. But yeah, once that groups in, it will have a little red, and now we have that little indent. If you want to zoom in like that, you can hit F, but side note, we're also going to make it multicolor, which will make it look like that. So there is our dog tag.